So Season 14 is barely a month away, and with it comes a very big shakeup to our sandbox, which I want to talk about today. There's actually probably going to be a second part of this video, because later in this month, we should be getting patch note previews of other sandbox changes. Normally, Bungie covers the nerfs, which is essentially what they did in the most recent TWAB, which means we may have some major buffs in the pipeline, perhaps a complete shift in the meta. Maybe a buff to scout rifles, maybe a pulse rifle meta, who knows? But let's cover the big topics. One being 120 round per minute hand cannons, the other one being Fellwinter's Lie and Astro Horizon, as quick draw will be removed from those weapons and will be replaced with surplus. Arguably the biggest change though is how quick draw is going to affect your primary weapons. I love quick draw on weapons like Igneous Hammer, which essentially allows my 120 round per minute hand cannon to not feel like a 120. It's fluid. But stated from the most recent TWAB here, the handling bonus for quick draw is now removed 1 second after switching to the weapon or upon aiming down sights. So no longer will we have the nice passive buff of that maxed out handling when walking flat-footed, which is a huge reason why I liked it on 120s, which is where I want us to start today. Let's talk about 120 round per minute hand cannons, most notably Igneous Hammer. Now that quick draw is being dealt with, there are a couple options I want you to lean toward. In that first column, either rapid hit or killing wind will be your go-to options over quick draw. However, in that final column, you may want to consider snapshot. And matter of fact, I think snapshot is about to become a perk that I'm going to start investing in more on my quick draw weapons, simply because snapshot almost serves as like a pseudo quick draw perk, as you can be swapping to your weapon and aiming down sights at the exact same time, and it'll immediately pop down your sights. It's not as fast as quick draw, but still pretty fast. And on a 120 round per minute hand cannon, you may want to consider that. Unfortunately, snapshot is present in the same column as rampage, which is fantastic on 120s. Needless to say though, my quick draw rampage god roll won't necessarily be useless, but definitely will need to be replaced. And honestly, I think bottom dollar is about to surpass Igneous Hammer, as bottom dollar comes with surplus. Now, I jumped up and down and talked about how much I love bottom dollar. We got to play with the god roll with both surplus and explosive payload. A fantastic roll here. Even though a lot of people are really hung up on Igneous Hammer, especially like the adept version, bottom dollar can hang already with the current best god rolls of Igneous in this next sandbox. I think bottom dollar is about to become top dogs amongst 120s. Yes, 120s are getting a nerf there in their range. They're roughly going to be sitting somewhere between 39 to 41 meters, but I still think 120s are still going to be great options inside of Crucible. With these changes though, and surplus being present here on bottom dollar, yes fellas, it's time for us to finally grind Gambit. If you haven't already been grinding, I've been grinding. I've gotten one bottom dollar, but I have been told that the core playlist drop chances for those weapons have been increased. So supposedly bottom dollar should be dropping more frequently. Now let's talk about shotguns. Oh, shotguns. A lot of people have already jumped up and said, hey, Fellwinter, Astro Horizon are on their way out. No, honestly, the nerf that's being handed out to both of these shotguns are still not addressing the big one on these shotties, which is the fact both Astro and Fellwinter can roll with opening shot. That's what makes them so good. Yes, quick draw is nice. I like quick draw, sure, but the fact that you have the hardest hitting shotguns and you slapped on the traits opening shot on there, those shotguns are gonna map. And Fallout actually did testing of surplus, and surplus ×3 essentially matches that of quick draw, or close enough. And there are ways around it. We did some side-by-side testing where we rocked like shotgun dexterity perks, so surplus ×2 ×3 with maybe a shotgun dexterity perk added on top of that. You're approaching damn near quick draw levels. The one thing that I did try, which was kind of a letdown, as this was going to be like our workaround for quick draw, outside of course like the quick draw glitch, is the mod quick charge with the secondary perk Ever Ready. Ever Ready essentially increases the ready time for fusion rifles and shotguns. It was like the perk that I was already rubbing my hands together for after reading about quick draw getting a nerf. However, upon testing this, Ever Ready is not working. I mean, we did a frame-by-frame count of quick charge and Ever Ready over and over again, and it did not speed up the ready time whatsoever. From the draw, from the ready, from the stow, nothing here. So just to point out, I think this mod is bugged, as I don't believe Bungie would like, I don't know, say that it's going to actually increase ready speed and then not do that. Regardless, don't depend on that perk until Bungie notifies us that Ever Ready has been fixed. But as far as Fellwinter's Lie and Astro Horizon, I think they're still going to be best-in-class shotguns. Actually, the situation I think we're going to run into is more people are just going to main the shotguns, as in they're not actually going to stow them. Take Fellwinter, for instance. If Surplus doesn't actually provide us the quick draw benefit that we want, oh well, I'll take Slide Shot. And yes, Slide Shot, Opening Shot do stack. You can main this shotgun like nobody's business. Run around, slide, boost your range, take advantage of Opening Shot, and ape folks inside of Crucible all day long. Astro Horizon. Now, Astro's kind of different. He doesn't have Slide Shot in that first column, which means you may still want to go with something like Surplus along with Opening Shot. I have seen some people go, whoa, Cross, does this mean Toil and Trouble is about to replace Astro Horizon? I'm not saying you can't get kills with Toil and Trouble, but Toil doesn't come with Opening Shot. Now, it does come with a couple of other things that you can try. Slide Shot, Snapshot, Accurized Rounds, Full Choke, or Rifle Barrel. Go right ahead. But wait, Retold Tell. It's time for Retold to be meta. No, it's not. Look, I love Retold back in the day, but have you used one here recently? Can it get you kills? Sure. Will it get slapped by a Fellwinter? Yes, every single time. CQC, one of my favorite shotguns in the game, most notably because it gives you the added benefit of being a lightweight weapon, allowing you to move faster, but it too will succumb to Fellwinter and Astro Horizon. What I'm trying to get at, guys, is even though this nerf is big and its target there to quick draw being removed from Astro and Fellwinter, to me, the nerf to quick draw itself is going to affect primary weapons like 120 round per minute hand cannons, such as Steady Hand, Igneous Hammer, or even if you had a bottom dollar with quick draw, those weapons are going to be the ones that get affected the most. And as far as shotguns go, Fellwinter and Astro Horizon are still probably going to be best in slot shotguns, outside of course slugs. So really, considering that there was no range nerf here to these shotguns, and perhaps we'll see that leading up into the next sandbox, but again, this was the TWAB to cover all the nerfs. Bungie likes to lump all the nerfs together, and then they like to lump up the buffs. And they like to do this because they want to talk about buffs leading into the season, right? Kind of gets your mind off of everything that's getting nerfed. One week you're like, damn you, Bungie. But then leading into the season, you're like, oh, but these buffs, they look so good. I've been watching these trends now for years, fellas. This is exactly how it goes. Needless to say, I don't think the shotguns themselves, these hard-hitting, aggressive shotguns, are going to be dealt with in the damage or range department. The only thing that will combat Fellwinter's and Astro Horizon usage is for another shotgun to emerge. And maybe this Iron Banner shotgun, whatever it is, might replace one of these shotguns. I don't even know what archetype this shotgun falls under. But there's also another shotgun coming around the corner that will probably be present in the energy slot and was one of the most meta shotguns at one time, and that was our Vault of Glass shotgun, Found Verdict. So again, I'm not going to say they're going to replace Fellwinter or Astro Horizon, but they could at least compete in those slots. And those other shotguns, whether it's Retold Tell, Toil and Trouble, CQC, they're good shotties, don't get me wrong, and they can somewhat compete. But give me a Found Verdict with Final Round, oh, now that can compete. Now, some other weapons that Bungie barely talked about, and by barely, I mean one sentence here, where they said we are also planning quite a few buffs to underused perks, linear fusion rifles, and more. Again, Bungie talks about the good stuff leading into the next season. Them just briefly mentioning linear fusion rifles needs to go ahead and open your radar to potential god rolls for PvE. I think linear fusion rifles, whatever artifact mods we get next season, are probably going to be fleshed out pretty nicely. They'll probably have some applicable mods to face off against champions. So, some linear fusions to look out for. Tarantula deals arc damage, comes with perks like Kill Clip, Rampage, Box Breathing, Dragonfly, as well as traits like Fill Prep and Feeding Frenzy. Corsair's Wrath, another linear fusion rifle. Not a lot of damage dealing perks outside of like high impact reserves, Kill Clip. Again, we don't really know what's happening with Unrelenting. Bungie mentioning buffing underused perks. Unrelenting is gonna have to get a buff in some sort of way. Now, would you spend that on a heavy weapon? I don't know. Probably not. But keep an eye out for it. Corsair here does solar damage. But probably the easiest one to farm for as of now, and really the best legendary linear fusion rifle for PvE, is Threaded Needle. It deals void damage. It comes with perks like Clown Cartridge, Auto Loading Holster, Rapid Hit, Fill Prep, in combination with Frenzy, which I know is getting a nerf, which previously I would say go with Frenzy, but now that its damage output is going to be 15% in Season 14, well, hell, fellas, you might as well just go with Vorpal. Vorpal does increase damage against bosses, champions, etc., and you don't have to activate it. So Vorpal, in combination with any of these other perks in that first column, will be fantastic week here. So keep an eye out for linear fusions. And of course, you know, Sleeper could just be meta, which is a great possibility. Somebody asked me the other day, will Queenbreaker's bow be meta inside of PvE? Boy, would that be a surprise, right? I don't think it would surpass Sleeper. Like, if there's like a flat buff handed out to linear fusion rifles, no, it won't surpass Sleeper. Bungie would have to single out Queenbreaker's bow, which is also a possibility. Again, the buffs that were handed out to rocket launchers, I think it's going to be very similar to linears, right? Where they gave a flat blanket buff to all legendary rocket launchers and then individually tuned exotic rocket launchers. The same exact thing could happen here with linear fusions. At this time, though, we're just purely speculating. For the time being, if you get a threaded needle with vorpal weapon, clown cartridge, auto-loading holster, field prep, or even rapid hit, do not break that thing down. Keep it, man. I know we're in the mindset that linear fusion rifles are poop, but literally with just one sandbox change, Bungie can make them meta inside of PvE. So guys, those are the weapons to kind of look out for, as well as some clarity on shotguns, as well as my thoughts on Fellwinter's Lie and Astro Horizon. Let me know in the comments below what you think here, fellas. If there's anything I have missed, any weapon that has gone underneath the radar, feel free to comment. We've got a couple of things in the pipeline, one being like the best weapons of Season 13, which we're going to do here in the next week for those trying to wrap up the grind, and then we'll have a follow-up video to this one for when we finally get the TWAB on those buffs. Well, fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.